You're listening to the Nellie Parker Studio Podcast, episode number 13. In today's episode, I'm going to reveal to you the biggest mistake that I see a lot of artists making that's coming up. Welcome to the Nellie Parker Studio Podcast, the podcast for women artists who are ready to pursue their creative dreams so that they can thrive both in life and in business. I'm your host, Natalie Parker, artist and mentor to women creatives around the globe. In this podcast, I'll share with you the strategies, principles, and mindset that you need to build a purposeful and fulfilling creative business. If you're ready to be inspired, encouraged, and equipped to build the art business of your dreams, then you're absolutely in the right place. Let's dive into today's episode. Hey there, artist, and welcome to the show. Now, today's topic is a bit of a juicy one. This comes off the back of some discussions that I've been having with some amazing artists inside our free Art Biz Startup series. So we've been running this series for artists. It's a 3-part training where we teach them the steps they need to take to get started from being a hopeful art business owner to stepping into that role of having their own flourishing art business. Now, with the discussions, it's always so honourable for me and such a joy for me to get in there and to support my fellow creatives like you. Because if there's one thing that I love to do, it is to inspire, to encourage, and to equip you to build the art business of your dreams. And what I see happening with a lot of artists who, they have this desire to have an art business, or they want to have their show, or they want to start to sell their work, as they almost put that declaration out there and start to move forward, things start to come out. Doubts start to come out. Fears start to come out. And it is my job and my responsibility to be there to help you, to alleviate those fears, to alleviate those doubts, because I want you to have the art business of your dreams, because I believe that you have a gift, you have a purpose, and you have a great dream inside you for a reason. So I will do whatever I can, whether it be through my courses, the Confident Brush, the Art Business Program, or through this podcast, to be your cheerleader. I'm in the corner for you. I'm rooting for you. I'm encouraging you to go after that dream, because I know that it's going to fulfill you. And I also know that there are so many people who are going to be impacted by what you can do. So before we get into today's topic, I just want to give a special shout out to Kat Taylor. Now, Kat Taylor is in our Confident Brush membership, and she left this review on the podcast. I love this podcast. So much useful, helpful, and practical information for anyone interested in art or an artist wanting to improve their art business. This podcast makes me want to paint all day and get my art business cranking. Thank you, Nellie, for sharing so much valuable advice and information. And thank you, Kat, for writing such a fab review. And I've loved, Kat, seeing your style improve over the last year as you've been part of the membership. It's been such a joy to be with you. Now, if you want to leave a review, these reviews are really important. Not only I love to see them, I love to see this podcast is impacting you, but also helps more artists like you discover the podcast. So head to ratethispodcast.com/Nellie Parker, super duper simple, and go over there and leave a review. And the link will be in the show notes below. Okay, let's dive into the episode. Now, after teaching for over a decade and mentoring artists closely for the last few years, the biggest thing I've seen, or the biggest mistake I've seen some artists make is, drum roll, that's my drum roll please, is waiting for the right time. Answer me this. Have you ever put anything off in your life because you wanted it to be the right time? And I've got my little air quotes here. Only to discover later down the track that there never really was or is the right time. Take, for example, life situations, all right? Waiting to start a family. You might want to wait until you own your own home. You might want to wait till you're more financially secure. You might want to wait till you're a certain age. And then you get to that age and you're like, no, do I really want a family now? Because I'm, quite into this. And we keep on waiting and waiting for that right time. Or are you waiting for the right time to invest in the share market, only to see it go up, down one day, up and down and up and down? You're like, I'm just going to wait till those shares, my husband and I were just going to wait till those shares get a little bit lower to buy, and then we see, oh no, the share price is continuing to go up. Yesterday should have been a better day. And you go around and round in cycles. Or what about timing the housing market? Oh my goodness, how many of us have done this? I'm just going to wait till the prices of the houses go down. And then the next minute they're going up and you're like, oh, I don't know. So yesterday was a good time, but I didn't think it was a good time. I thought later was a good time. And it just goes on and on and on. Or, and I hear this, are you waiting until you have found your art style before you can feel like you can put your art out there for sale? My question with that is, how do you know when you've found your art style? Do you suddenly land on this specific style that is never going to grow, that's never going to develop? Is your work now better than it was a year ago? Will your work next year be better than it is now? How do we know when is the right time? Or are you waiting to start your art business perhaps until you have more actual time in your life, or more money, or more support from your spouse or your family? We're always waiting for something to happen, waiting for that right time before we can move forward. So if you're always waiting for the right time to take action, you're actually postponing your dreams and desires to a later time. And you're not going to get more time. What if you could actually be living your dream life now? What if you had have taken action on starting your art business sooner? What would have happened if you decided to start selling your work sooner instead of waiting until it was good enough? Where would you be now in your life if you hadn't delayed your dreams? Because if you're waiting to start your business, if you're waiting to put your work out there for sale until it's the right time, there are some unpleasant consequences that can occur. First one is pretty obvious. You're waiting to start your art business, you're waiting to sell your work. You're going to have no or very low sales. You're going to remain in what I call the hobby phase. Now, a hobby artist, they don't have a business, they just have an expensive hobby. A hobby artist is always waiting until they have something before they will take the action to get the results. So as an example, they wait till they have the sales before they can feel like they're really an artist. Or they wait till they have the money, all the money they feel they need, until they go and buy the right supplies to do the work to present it for sale. Or they wait until they have the time before they get into their studio to create the work they need to create, to put it out there to sell so that they can have their art business. The other uncomfortable consequence that can happen is you're going to feel incredibly unsettled or unfulfilled in what you're currently doing. Now, I shared an example of this. I remember when I started an art studio when I was 21. It went really bad. You can go listen to that episode. What happened was I thought I'd failed. So I pushed my desire for my art business to be an artist. I pushed it down. I went and did hospo. I went and worked for a PA for about a period of 5 or 6 years, and I didn't create. Now, what kept unsettling me was that desire. I knew I was born to be an artist. I knew I was born to create. But I tried to push it down, but it kept coming up, and it made it really, really uncomfortable. Now, I tried to be fulfilled in my jobs. I loved my jobs. I would probably, you're the new phase of the job, and then I'd master that job, and I'd get bored. It just wasn't quite hitting the spot like I knew having my own art business could. So I was incredibly unfulfilled and unsettled. The other consequence that can happen when you're waiting for the right time, putting your dream off, is you actually end up with less time to live your dream life. You don't get any more years put on the end of however long you're supposed to be here on earth. So if you wait for another year, another 6 months, another 2 years, another 5 years, another 10, another 20 years to finally do what you are called to do, you rob yourself of all that time. If you had started 6 months ago, a year ago, building your art business, putting your artwork out there, you would have had more time to actually be living in your dream life. And the fourth consequence that can happen when you wait for the right time, and this is probably, for me, this is probably the most heartfelt one, is that other people actually miss out on the blessing and the financial benefits of your gift. Your gift, your ability to create, your desire to build an art business, not only is for you, it's going to impact other people. Your artwork is going to bring joy and beauty and healing into people's lives. Your business could be the key to increasing the financial income in your family so that you can do more things, have more things, go on a family vacation, get a second car, have less pressure on, when things go wrong in the life. Say you need new tires on your car. These kinds of things. How many more people, how many more charities can you be giving to because you're selling your artwork? How many people can you hire in your business who are also going to benefit from your gift? So if we know that waiting for the right time is not the way to go, what can we now do to start to flip that switch in our brain and move forward with our dream of having our own art business? First thing you need to do is make a decision. Everything starts with a decision. You need to decide that now is the right time for you. Not the right time for anyone else, not the right time in the economy, not the right time according to what your circumstances or your bank balance says. You are choosing that now is the right time for you to move forward in your business. The second thing you need to do is you need to step into the role, the mindset of a flourishing artist. Now, I mentioned before, the no sales, the low sales, that's a hobby artist. They operate from the position of waiting until they have something, time, money, a result before they take action. A flourishing artist operates the other way around. They operate from the position of be. So they tell themselves, I am a flourishing artist. As a flourishing artist, I take the action. I do. So I go into my studio. I do the work. I learn the business systems that I need to get those clients to see my work. I invest in the right supplies. I put my work out there. And as a flourishing artist, you know that's what you're called to do. You take those actions, you then end up with the results. You end up with more sales. You end up with more finances. You end up with more time freedom to help and support your family, and you end up more fulfilled. You end up with a profitable business as a flourishing artist rather than a hobby artist who has an expensive hobby. The third step to start to move forward, to choose that this is the right time, is to put money down. Now, I absolutely believe in the saying of those who pay attention. And I've done this little trick with myself over the years to get myself to move forward in my business and in my life, is I have put money down. Sometimes, a little bit when I started to get used to it. I got comfortable in investing in small courses. I did things like Instagram training. Then I started to get a little bit more bold and I started to invest, in high ticket things like Facebook, memberships, masterminds, those kinds of things. Every time I've put that money down, it is putting my stake in the ground, so to speak, that, this is me and this is where I'm going. And I've started to move forward. So for you, it could be like, okay, now is my time to start my art business. Now is my time to really take it seriously. So I'm going to invest in some quality art supplies. Or I'm going to go and rent a studio space. I'm going to go, maybe you could go sign up in a co-op. And because you put that money down, you've made that commitment, you're going to automatically rise to that occasion. It might be that you take a course or you take a class on something that you need to grow your art business. You could hire a business coach. It could be that you put the payment down to get your domain name or to get your website sorted. The fourth way to switch our mindset to get us to be like, now is the time, is to get the support and accountability that you need. Building an art business is hard. The reason for that is because as creatives, we are taught that if our work is just good enough, if we just spend enough time in our studio improving our work, then naturally our work is going to sell and people are just going to flock to it. But how's that been working out for you? Because here's the truth. Building an art business takes both creative talent and business systems. So how do you expect to build an art business if you're not focusing on business systems and improving your creativity? So you need a supportive group. You need a supportive group of business people, business artists who are moving forward, who know the challenges, who can help you be accountable. When you say, you know what, I'm going to get my website up and running, you can, have a group. Can you tell them? Are you getting the support you need? Do you have a group when you can come to and you can share how, things that are going forward? Because as you move forward, new fears, new desires are going to come up. You need those people around you. This has been one of my biggest keys for me to personally move forward, is to having that supportive group around me and that group that I can be accountable for. The fifth way is to take small actions. If you decide that building an art business is for you, and you're listening to this podcast, so I assume that's what you want, take small action. Little by little, bite that elephant off. All right, bite the elephant off. Eat that elephant. Building a business can take years. But I don't want you to get overwhelmed. I just want you to look at that small task in front of you. Once you start to take small actions, small goals, you're like, now's the time to build my art business. Okay, I'm going to go set my website up. I'm going to get my Instagram. I'm going to invest in that course and get some help. Or I'm going to put my first post out there and start to even offer my work for sale. Or I'm going to get my pricing sorted because people are coming to me saying they want to buy my work and I'm freaking out because I don't know how to price my work. I'm going to figure that out. This is how we start to move towards our dream and stop waiting for the right time. We decide it is the right time for us. So if you're ready to stop waiting, stop putting off your dreams, waiting for the right time to start your art business, and instead choose to make this your time, then you're going to love this. Today, Monday, the 31st of Jan, depending on when you're listening to this, we have just opened the doors to my signature creative coaching program, Art Biz A to Z. Now, this is a 12-week program that teaches you how to build your art business so that you can sell more art. Because here's the thing, and I mentioned it before, starting an art business is your dream, right? But it can also be overwhelming. And sometimes you just don't know where to start. So I'm going to coach you through how to set up the right systems in your dream art business so that you can attract your clients and build a profitable art business. Now, this is not like a course where you quickly go through the content to get it done and tick it off. This is an on-demand resource. I want you to think of this program kind of like Netflix, all right? You can go and access this program, which you have lifetime access to, and you can plug and play, pull out any of the strategies, the systems, or resources that you need, depending on the actual season that you are in your business, and you can implement it. As well as that, I know that you need some help. You need some help from me. So I offer 7 live group coaching sessions over those 12 weeks where you get direct access to me. You get to pick my brain. You get to ask me questions. You get clarity. You can talk it out with me and with the other artists who are also building their businesses. You get clarity and you get to move forward through any doubts or fears you may have or come across as you start to build not only your business, but also it's creating your dream life. Now, my students who went through this program with me last year, they've gone on to do some really cool things like selling more of their art, growing their email lists. Many of them have gone on to receive commissions. One lady got an 8-piece commission. Some are exhibiting in local fairs. Some are in the process of setting up their websites. Some of them are getting prints done for their work. Many of them are also going on to offer other merchandising options like tote bags and cups and scarves, all so that they can build more income streams in their business, which we teach, which helps provide more revenue and more financial stability. So if you're ready to take action on your art business dream in 2022, to no longer wait for the right time and delay your dream life, then come on over and join us inside Art Biz A to Z today. But you're going to need to hurry because I'm only opening the doors for 1 week until Sunday, the 6th of February. Then we'll be closed because I want to get in there. I want to spend my energy and time on helping those artists who want to build their art businesses. So I'll post a link in the show notes for you below. You can go, you can stalk out the sales page, have a look. Feel free to message me or my team if you have any questions on the program. Okay, lovely. Well, that is a wrap for today's episode. If you've loved this episode, would you do me a favor and share it on IG and tag me in at Natalie Parker Studio? I'd love to connect over there and encourage you as you pursue your creative dream. I'll be back next Monday with another fab episode to inspire, encourage, and equip you to build the art business of your dreams. I'll see you then.